Hey everybody, hope this stream's all right. Looks like it's a bit laggy, but anyhow, I can't remember if I did one of these yet or not. So this is an update on the multi-scale layout. I got this at the Loudonville Train Show from Jane, Dave's wife, until he passed away. He had O-gauge track on here for around the Christmas tree, and I talked to Jane and I said, well, I've got one O-gauge Lionel train, so I could use the board, and I would turn it into a multi-scale layout for down there at the Loudonville show, just to show a difference between the gauges. So if I can back up a little bit more, you can see right now there's HO, N, and O gauge. And I know the HO and the N are pretty close to each other, and the N and the O gauge are pretty close to each other. But the way I plan on running this is there's not going to be a huge chance of anything hitting each other, because I'm going to have 3 controllers instead of 2. Or instead of 4. Yeah, 3 controllers instead of 4. And when I speed one up, it'll slow down the other to prevent collisions. PTC style. There's the bridge I had done up for the show. It is tacked in with the track, that way it won't go anywhere, with the HO and the N. And then my controls for my lights are back here. I don't think I'm going to do anything with them. I'm just going to glue them in place or tack them in place so they don't go anywhere. This layout's not going to be extravagant with trees and hills and buildings or anything. It's just going to be something to show a difference between the scales. My wiring for the N scale will go through the table here and hook up to a power pack, and then right there, once I get that soldered in and fixed and everything, that's probably where my wires will come up for the HO. And then if I pan on up here, that's for the O gauge. So all the wires will be going down through the board and hooking up to controllers, probably right under here or here somewhere. They'll just be under the board. Later on, when I can prop this up, I'll do a video of how I'm going to do the legs. They're going to be a permanent installation, but they're going to fold up like a card table, basically, and latch in. I got the idea from my uncle in West Salem on how to make the latches for the legs and everything. And then if anybody knows how or where I can get Z-scale track, I'm going to do a big Z-scale thing in the middle. So I can have HO, N, O, and Z trains running on here to show a difference between the 4. Now I know some of you might say, well, Brandon, you're being an idiot. S gauge does go in between HO and O, and you are correct, it does, but I don't have any. So I'm not really wanting to put S gauge on here. That would be 0.2. But so 0.1, I don't have any S gauge. 0.2, I really don't care to mess with it, because it's hard to find and kind of expensive, and I don't like it that much. So y'all can hate me for that, I don't care, but these are the scales that I like the most. And the reason for leaving the O gauge on there is because I do have one. I'll pick that up here in a second and show you. I don't have any power hooked up, so I won't be able to show it to you running, but I can set her on the track and, for all intensive purposes, show you what she'll look like on here. This was given to me by a friend for free, so there was no way I was going to ever get rid of it. And when I was offered this layout for free, it's like, you know what, why not? Because it gave me an idea, and then I don't have to set up stuff on tables like I did this year at the Loudonville show. I can actually set up 3 layouts. I can set up this one, the HO 4x7, and the N scale 2 foot by 4.5 foot, and that way I'd have 3 layouts, and it'd just be a lot easier to transport, set up, and tear down. I don't know how well you can see in there. Go ahead and now shut off the top lights. They're kind of bright. Yeah, there we go. You can see that Lionel in there a little better. It's a 242. So anyhow, like I said, this is the layout. Yeah, forgive me, I'm a little tired. Been working all day. But anyhow, there was a straight section there I took out on the O gauge. And then panning back here, there was a straight section I took out. It was pretty boxy. It would have fit, but with the HO, it would have been a real pain in the butt. And I like the way I did it this way because I have a Rapido train set in N scale, which allows me to, which came with a couple of Rapido switches, and their track plan actually showed something similar to the layout here in N scale, to where you can have 2 trains on the track at the same time, and if you do it right, you can run both of them and have them miss each other, because those Rapido switches actually cut power off to that inside track when they're thrown. So I can park a train in there, and when one gets warm, just turn the other one on. So anyhow, like I said, if anybody has suggestions, I know ModelTrainStuff.com has a Christmas toy train set in Z gauge or Z scale I'm looking at buying. I did find out today that you can use an HO power pack on that as long as you don't go haywire with it. So if anybody knows any place that has a reasonable Z-scale train set, power pack, track, train, and everything, I don't need a whole bunch of cars. I just need something to put in the middle to show a little bit of a difference. I would prefer a Bachmann or Kato style track with it, but if it's just like an Atlas where there's no roadbed, that's fine with me too. So anyhow, thought I'd just give a quick update. Everything's going okay. Like I said, this is the HO, N, O, and Z gauge update. I don't think I put camera up over here to show you. Custom painted Z scale bridge, or N scale, sorry. I don't even think we're going to do ballast on this. I think it's just going to stay the way it is once we get everything working. Thomas the Tank Engine on the outside. N scale, then my Lionel, and then Z scale. So anyhow, this is Brandon Railway 6920 signing off.